Situated about 60 miles northeast of Halifax, the town of Wolfville, Nova Scotia has a long and storied history and more than its share of ghost stories. The Randall House Museum, which is owned and operated by the Wolfville Historical Society, serves as the town's only community museum. It's well worth catching. Once home to the Randall family, there have been reports of various ghostly sightings at the museum, most notably that of Annie Randall, also known as Sister Annie. Stories go that Annie was to be married one lovely spring day, but the groom never showed. Completely devastated, Annie ran back home, vowing never to step foot outside the house again. Day in, day out, she'd just stare out of her bedroom window. Sometimes she'd catch the young boys from the town stealing apples from her orchard behind the house. And she'd bang on a window and try to scare them away. To this very day, visitors and even the museum's gardening committee have heard such knocking and have caught glimpses of what appeared to be a lady looking down at them from the upper floor window, as if she was still keeping vigil over the apple orchard below.
My name is Crystal Tanner. I'm the curator manager here at Randall House Museum. The house itself was built in 1809, around that time, by Aaron Cleveland. He was a cooper, so he built barrels for a living. He sold the house in 1816 to the Randall family, so Charles and Sarah Randall. Charles and Sarah had a little baby boy named Charles Dennison Randall. It was a few months after Sarah gave birth that she passed away due to complications or a sickness. We're not really sure why, but they continued to live here. They rented it out a couple of different times. So the house was once used also as a school back in the 1850s-ish. And then we get the Randalls moving back in, Eardley and Annie. They were brother and sister. We call her Sister Annie. She's widely known in all of the written material as Sister Annie. So she was very sickly, and Eardley was tasked with taking care of his sister until she got married, which obviously never happened. And then we have a new family moving in, Charles and Sarah Patriquin, and they lived here up until 1947. That was the year that Charles died, and then the year after Sarah passed away. I've had my best friend Melissa, her husband Adam, he came in and fixed our sink one year, and Melissa was standing just inside of the kitchen, but she could feel that there was someone in the dining room, so that seemed to be a little hot spot for whatever reason. And she told me later, she whispered to herself, she's like, Annie? And she heard it plain as day, as if someone was standing right behind her, and it said, no, it's Sarah. So we're not sure who that could be. Sarah Randall's, who I always thought it was. And that was always kind of who I thought was the female presence that I've been told is attached to me. And I don't know, I think it's because I care about the house, so she is kind of my protector because I'm protecting what she loved. I should not say that I was never scared, because there was one time when I was photographing quilts. I was here very, very late, and I needed something in the basement, so I went and opened the door. I believe the light was on, and I just was like, nope, I can't. There was something saying, you're not coming down here, not right now, not tonight. And the only space that I could go, I tried coming in the kitchen, I tried going back into where I was photographing, tried to go in the dining room, and everywhere I could feel this feeling. I don't think anything was following me, but I just felt like I think my time here is done for tonight. I'm going home to go to bed. Locked the door and went home. I came back the next day and I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, what am I gonna walk into? And it was completely fine. It was like it never had happened.
Coming up, the team heads to Wolfville in search of Sister Annie at the Randall House Museum.
So this was probably one of the first experiences that I've had. So I was doing orientation with my, who would have been the heritage interpreter. So he was standing a little bit closer to here. I was here, and then there was no one else here. The museum was closed at that time. And then we heard 3 very distinct knocks. Very loud, just like that. And he looked at me and I looked at him and he's like, "Did you hear that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I thought that was you," because I thought maybe he was tapping his foot or something. He's like, "No, that wasn't me." And
the knocking sounded like it was emanating right from
it
here?
was literally like in this space, and it sounded just like that, like the 1, 2, 3 whacks. This is closed. Like there's no, we have oil, like an oil furnace, but it's the other chimney stack that it operates out of. It's all closed off in there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you or tell you a little story about what happened up here. There's quite a few stories about what happened up at the top of the stair area. Mm-hmm. So this is like the hot zone. So I had a visitor come in. This was many years ago. She was from the UK. I was trying to give her a tour, and then went to walk in this room, which is part of like the tour. Like there's a hair wreath, which is pretty cool and stuff. And she's like, "Nope, I can't go in there. There's something not right about that room." And so she refused. She just like, "I can't go in there." So I've never had a problem going in there, but she wouldn't. And there was something stopping her and saying like, nope, you're not coming in here.
Now I notice, is that an attic?
That is, yep.
That is an attic. Is there anything about the attic that's ever been said?
So I've never had anything happen up there.
Mind if I just poke my head out?
Go for it, yeah, just watch your head.
Creepy mannequins. Everything you would expect in a museum, eh? Even old display cabinets and shelving. Interesting. Are all of these antiques from this house?
No, so I have 0 things from when the Randalls lived here. The only thing I have of the Randalls are the stories, and Eardley carved his initials into the hall. I'll show you going downstairs from the attic. It's the only thing I have of them.
Okay.
Watch your head. The E and the R. That's what I have of Eardley.
That's what you have of Eardley?
That's what I have of Eardley.
So he would have carved that?
Yep.
Very interesting carve too, right?
Yeah.
You don't ever see that much effort put into a carving by somebody. Like that looks almost temple.
Like it had to have been when he was a kid. I can't see it. Like when he was older, I can't see him coming up to that. Like that is my, actually, I must admit that right there. Out of there's 7,000 things in this collection. I'm very fond of the photographs and stuff, but those 2 little letters mean the world to me. Just because that's what I have of the Randalls. It's just Eardley's initials.
I've always had a prayer. Right? I've always had a prayer. I never wanted to see, smell, experience, taste, sensationalize anything that I'm not ready for. Right? I've had a few weird things in my life that have occurred, and it gave me immediate comfort to be like, I guess I was ready for that. Right? So like I don't open myself to the other realms, because I believe the other realms are out there, and it's like I've never touched a Ouija board because I'm not about to like dabble. I'm not gonna do that. But it's just like, I'm not open to it. So maybe I'm the X factor.
The school of thought that I follow,
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you're open and ready for it or not.
Okay.
If it's gonna occur, it's gonna occur.
All right. That's fair. Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
being open to it is literally just being present.
EMF detectors locate sources of electromagnetic radiation. Since ghosts are thought to emit electromagnetic radiation or disturb existing magnetic fields, these devices can be used to potentially detect them.
Is there anybody present? Is there actually anybody here with us? If there is, please make yourself known. Come close to us. Now that's not spiking,
The lights are coming.
but the lights are going.
Something's
going on here. If there is somebody who's trying to communicate with us, come closer. Come forward, please. We're all friends here.
Don't be afraid. Can we ask if there's specific? Hi.
This isn't even on.
You can come closer. It's okay.
The spirit box uses radio frequency sweeps to generate white noise. This gives some entities the energy they need to communicate. Interaction occurs as voices or sounds coming through the static.
Oh, okay. So it's now scanning.
So I'd like to ask if there's anybody here with us to maybe say something. Tell us your name. It was a very, very, very specific thing.
I'm curious if it's Eardley here.
Sometimes saying the name and talking to the person directly. Speak away. Say hi to Eardley.
Hi, Eardley. You can come closer. It's just like kind of fluttering in a note or something. I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
Just not sure.
Is that what you heard? But just not
That's just
sure?
what I heard. I don't know.
Yes, it was close to that at least.
So the really interesting thing about all of this, I'm just going to power this down here. So the really interesting thing to keep in mind about all of this when it comes to the use of the equipment is that it should be something somewhat tangible to like an ask and response. So, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. We're going to set up the EVP in the REM pod. So I'm going to take the REM pod, I'm going to zero it out just so that I'm not setting it off right now. And we're setting up the night vision shot with the IR blaster to make sure that we can get anything that's occurring on the REM pod in a shot. Set it up like that. So we got a clear shot of the actual lights on the REM pod. We're going to turn off the lights in this room and we're going to go elsewhere to perform some more of the investigation and just kind of leave this. The interesting thing about the REM pod is that if there's any form of EMF detection or temperature changes, you will get an audible sound. So we should be able to hear it from another room if anything is occurring in here. Okay, so we're gonna leave this room, kind of sanitize it as it is, like and not have us in here. We'll turn off the lights and we'll remove ourselves. Leave this for a few. If we get anything, we get something. If we don't, maybe we'll move this to another room or another location. Traditionally, this would have been in lieu of any kind of funeral home at the time. If there was any kind of a death in the family, this room would have actually been used for the viewing and the funeral, for any purpose like that. So if there was any kind of a death experienced, this house, that this house would have seen, this room would have a concentration of energy from that. So this room here, very specifically, there was at one point somebody just, it was like a barrier, they wouldn't come in here.
Yep.
There was a feeling of something in here. So, and this was potentially Annie's room?
I think so, because this is, I think, where the house is. Like, that's all the farmland, so it went right up to King Street. So she would have definitely tapped on this window.
If there's anybody here, please come forward. I'd like for you to set off my detector. If you'd like to talk. Even if it's just quick responses, yeses and nos. Where's the hair wreath? Is it
Right behind you, there's two of them there.
There's two of them here.
Yep,
Okay.
I've got three of them in total. Can we ask what they want us to, are they okay with us here?
Go for it.
Are you okay with us being here?
If you want us to leave, light up, like set this off all the way. We want to see this spike. If you're okay with us being here, how about you set it off now?
That was our answer.
Very well might be. Well, thank you for talking to us. Can you take a step back?
It's like they're peekaboo. They're playing a game.
Somebody playing peekaboo? Did I catch somebody around the corner here? Is there somebody in here hiding? That's interesting.
Once you're here.
Walk around, yeah.
Is that flickering by the prayer chair?
That's a prayer chair?
That's a prayer chair.
Okay, that's intriguing.
They would go like on their hand, and then their elbows would rest.
Is there anybody here with us around this chair?
Is there anyone up here?
There's nothing going on by this now. Hanging baskets.
Just nothing.
It's interesting that it stopped on that chair.
Yeah,
The prayer
I
chair.
could see it from standing back, but then it just.
Little flickers, nothing. Okay. I guess we'll head back down. Just the prayer chair.
No, Mr. Erdley.
We took the night, ran through with the equipment, checked out various rooms in the house. We're pointed to very particular hotspots, given a little bit of a background on what's occurred in the house. We had a couple of instances where there would be nothing really explainable as to what happened with the EMF detector very specifically. There were random times when it would spike and just give us readings nonstop, and then it was just gone, just like that. Interestingly enough, when I first arrived on scene here, and I didn't know anything about what I was getting into, I was standing outside by my car on the side of the house, and I was met by the director of the episode, and we were outside talking, and we heard a knock on wood, like on a windowsill at the window on the side of the house, and it was very, very obvious what was going on. When he went outside and I was parked out there, did you knock on the window?
No,
For fuck's sake.
I didn't.
We were standing
Are you
out in front
serious?
of the cars,
I didn't
and
knock.
We heard on one
See?
of the windows right on the side of the
No,
house.
it wasn't me.
And
I
when
was-
she's telling the story, like, this happened to us before I even came in.
See, I told you the plainest day, 3 knocks.
Oh yeah, it
And it was
was.
3 knocks, very specifically. The feeling of being here, the stories, the experience, the history to this building, you can definitely feel that there's an ongoing energy that just lives here, and that's very intriguing. I would definitely recommend, even if you don't come to a place like this to investigate the paranormal, just to feel the history and the energy that's been here for all these years. It's definitely something that one should experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue being the protector of this home and the protector of their story and of their memory. That's just, I feel like that's my duty. So I'm gonna keep on doing it. And if there's more things that happen, I'll just compile them in my little notes.
I was hoping to see something, but also I was hoping not to see something. So I'm okay with walking out of here this evening without having a memory emblazoned into my mind that I'm gonna be scared at, when I try to sleep this evening.